Tory Lanez will be in a Los Angeles courthouse pretty much any minute now. He's appearing on an arraignment for his felony charge of assault with a deadly weapon. Two things that are going to happen here. One, he's going to enter a plea. If you've heard the album, you already know it's not guilty. Two, there's a question of setting a bond. Does Tory get a bond? Does he get to stay out while the charges are pending for this new felony charge? Previously, he was charged with having a concealed weapon in a vehicle, and they gave him a bond, and they said, pending trial, you're out on a bond on that charge. Now there's a new charge, so they're going to have to set that bond. That will most likely happen today. He might be required to put up some cash. It's possible he doesn't get out. Big court date for Tory. The other big thing that's going to happen is the government at this arraignment has to give any evidence that they have, some initial material, over to the defense. So if there's a witness statement from Megan The Stallion, news of it coming out would break today. The other thing, and this is going to be very, very, very big for Tory Lanez, how aggressive does he get coming out of this hearing? Does he, and you have the right to demand a mini trial. Within 10 days of something like this, you can demand that the government put up their witnesses. So in Tory's case, it's absolutely going to be interesting to see coming out of today whether they do demand that mini trial. And
me and the Notification Gang would like to invite everybody to come join us Monday through Thursday, 9:20 to 10 o'clock for morning coffee, where we discuss the events of the prior day and also just talk mess about stuff. See you then.
Oh, Black Dynamite, I wish it was that simple, but this is much bigger than you and me.
Hey, little mama, it may be bigger than you, and it may be bigger than me, but it ain't bigger than you and me. Can you dig it?
BBN! Jack Frost! What's up, party people? Alright, so... yeah. So... apparently, Tory Lanez will be going to court today. This is before court. So after he actually goes to court, there will be another video, obviously. But this is before court. This is when we're just discussing whatever we're discussing. So apparently, Tory Lanez is going to court today. And as you just heard from Lawyers for Workers, or Lawyer for Workers, I forget where the S is at, if it's on Lawyers or Workers, but you get it. Anyway, shout out to that guy. Anyway, as you've just heard him say, he's talked about a couple of the points that they're going to be clearing up in court today. The first thing that I thought which was interesting that he spoke about, it wasn't even the first thing that he talked about. It was actually, I believe, one of the last things that he spoke about, and that was whether Tory Lanez, how aggressive he's going to be now, after when they decide that they're gonna go to trial. Because as he pointed out, often you don't have to go, okay, so by law you're supposed to get a speedy trial, but often what happens is when one side isn't ready, they'll go to when your defense isn't ready, they'll go to the judge and they'll ask for more time. Say, hey, look, judge, we're not ready to defend against this particular case. There's new evidence that just came out, or there's things that we did not know, or we just wasn't ready yet for whatever the case might be. So it will be interesting to see how quickly Tory Lanez and his defense decides to go after the case, because remember, Tory is just basically saying, look, I didn't do it. I don't know what they're talking about. This is all shenanigans. And if that is specifically what it is, shenanigans, like he's saying, I would assume, just me talking, I wouldn't notice, but it might be in their best interest to go to court as quickly as possible before any new evidence, or before some kind of malarkey, or I'm just trying to think of weird ass words to describe something surprising jumping out of nowhere that they now have to defend themselves against. So that's one of the things that I found interesting. I think that's going to be real interesting to see if Tory Lanez asks for a speedy trial. Put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about that. Another thing that Lawyer for Workers said that I thought was interesting was Megan The Stallion, basically the government is going to have to let Tory and his lawyers know what evidence they actually have against them. Now, remember, when all of this initially happened, they didn't charge Tory Lanez with anything other than having a possession of a weapon inside of a vehicle, or whatever the case was. They didn't charge him with all of these new charges. So it's gonna be interesting to see why it took so long. Maybe if we find out what the new charges are, we know what the new charges are. Maybe if we find out why these new charges were actually given, you know, maybe that'll open up a little bit of what's going on in this specific case. Maybe the only reason why these new charges exist is because Meg The Stallion said Tory Lanez shot her. That could be a case. That's the only reason. And in that case like that, it's going to be one person's word against the other. Because you'd have to think, if there was actual physical evidence, that they wouldn't need Meg The Stallion to say that she was shot. You would think if actual physical evidence existed, they wouldn't have waited so long to bring these particular charges up on them. Another thing that I find, this is the third thing, leave it down in the comment section what I think about that also. This is the third thing that I find interesting about what he said. Everything he said was pretty interesting to me, by the way. But this is the third thing. Do they hold Tory now? Does he get a new bond set? You would have to assume that that's what will happen. That they're going to give him a new bond. Because these are different charges. These charges actually escalated. They actually got worse. So I'm guessing it's going to be pretty interesting to see if they give him new charges. I'm pretty sure, I don't think they're going to give him $1 million bail. For everybody, not new charges, new bail. Also, for everybody that keeps saying, oh man, you got to get a lot of bail for a bad crime. No, bail is supposed to be dependent on what's the chances that this specific individual is gonna run. Bail is a deterrent. And it is, you know, that's why some states, they want you to offer up a whole house, because they it's a deterrent. If they don't think that you're gonna run, your bail is gonna be lower. If they, you know, obviously if you committed a really, really heinous act, they just might not want you on the street. So they might give you a really high bail to say, you know what, we have to give him some kind of bail, but this guy's kind of dangerous. Just, you know, whatever the case might be. Tory Lanez, as far as I know, has a pretty clean record. He hasn't shot any women prior to this particular situation that he's being accused of shooting a woman. So there might not be as much of a fear that he's going to commit more crimes upon being released from being out in the public. And not the last thing that I find interesting, but another thing that Lawyers for Workers spoke about that I find interesting, referring back to whatever the government might have as new evidence, we haven't heard from Kelsey yet. Is it possible that the new evidence that the government actually has is a statement from Kelsey? Leave it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this. How possible do you think the new evidence that the government might have against Tory Lanez is in reality a statement from Kelsey? Now, there's a line in one of the Tory Lanez songs. I forget what I don't really know the song that well, so I'm not going to pretend to sing it back to you or anything like that. But there's a line in one of the Tory Lanez songs where he's just blatantly says that he was banging both of the girls. Could this be a situation where maybe the girls have, because this happens, I'm just saying this happens, that the two friends have, you know, reconciled, and now they're on the same mission? Is this a possibility? Because let's not forget, Meg The Stallion said that Kelsey was looking for a payday. You know, it's the easiest way to know somebody is looking for a payday? If they ask you for money. So is there a chance, this is just me just talking, is there a chance that Meg The Stallion, prior to her coming out and, you know, going at Tory Lanez, had already spoken to Kelsey, and Kelsey told her, look, there's a number? I'm not saying that this is the case, but like I said, I'm gonna assume that the government has to have new information regarding all of this. That just Meg The Stallion now saying he shot me. Did they arrest him for that? I mean, are the new charges for that part of me? Or are the new charges because they actually have some kind of evidence or witness statement that is other than one from Meg The Stallion? Could y'all put that down in the comment section, what y'all think about that? I'm just interested on how y'all feel about that. Once again, Kelsey hasn't spoken. All we know about Kelsey is that she her and Meg wasn't friends no more. Meg called her a fake friend on top of that. So is this a situation where somebody got shot or shot at because they was fighting over the peen? I want to know what y'all guys think. Leave it down in the comment section. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.
If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.
Mike Jones Beatz.
Oh, Black Dynamite, I wish it was that simple, but this is much bigger than you and me.
Hey, little mama. It may be bigger than you, and it may be bigger than me, but it ain't bigger than you and me. Can you dig it?